Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today in this video, I'll be doing several questions regarding this microcontroller, and I will demonstrate it in MPLAB IDE. And for circuit, we'll be using Proteus software. So let's go to the question. So this is the task that is given to me by my lecturer. The question states that write a code to read input from a keypad and two push buttons and display them on the LCD. Demonstrate the functionality of your code in Proteus. So all of this is the requirement needed from this question. First one, if the first push button is pressed, display your name on the first row of the LCD. If the second push button is pressed, display your student ID on the first row of the LCD. The third one, if any of the keypad button is pressed, display the number on the second row of the LCD. And last, if nothing is pressed, the LCD should not display anything. So long story short, when I'm click on the first push button, it will display my name on the first row. If second push button, it will be displaying my student ID on the first row also. If any of the keypad button is pressed, it will be displaying my student ID on the second row. So here's the quick introduction of what is LCD. It stands for liquid crystal display, which is a flat panel display technology commonly used in TVs and computer monitors. So LCD are available with or without a backlight. A backlight is just a light in the LCD that lights up the display, making it easier to read in low light condition. So take note that my name is Muhammad Nabil. It will be displayed at the first row, and my ID is here, DE 96558. At the bottom here is just example of active high push button, and here is the ASCII table in decimal that I'll be using it in my coding. So let's go to the coding. So here, as usual, we're going to be using this MPLAB software to write our own program. And as you can see that I have already typed mine. So first, this is the program template. Without this program template, our program is not going to work. Over here, I have the delay 10 milliseconds. We start with duplicate node operation, that we will be using this duplicate node in our delay. So this delay 10 seconds, when I'm time this 20, 250 and 20, over here will be 100,000 for delay. And then we have the input and output. So command 1 stand for decoding, stand for where we use it when we giving command to the LCD. Data 1 stand for the result. When we need the result from the LCD, we call this data 1. So now display name. So here's my coding. Display name will be displaying letter by letter, and we use this from ASCII table decimal. We have the D77 stand for display M. We have U, HAMMAD, and I have the space over here, D32. And then we start with N again, and A, B, I, L, and also display again. So each one of these letter we have the call data 1 for the result. And here we're gonna move to port D and call the command. So settle with displaying name. Here's my display ID. It will be display my D first, and then letter E, number 9, seats 558, and we have space over here. Same goes to here. Each of these coding has call data 1, and lastly we have the call command 1. For keypad push button, up here is for the push button, display name and display ID. So here is my keypad button. This is the coding for showing the numbers. We have show 1, show 2, show 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and also I have the star over here for, I name it as show n, and then we have 0 and then hashtag. So this is our main program. We're gonna start with clear the trace D and set file trace B, and then for trace B we have a bit clear file 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're gonna set file the trace A. This is for configure input and output. And then here we have the coding for configure 2 lines and 5 times 7 matrix. And we have this display on. This coding is for display on and cursor blinking. And then we have this for clear display screen. And then here we have the coding for force cursor to beginning to first line, at the first line, sorry. So here we have the polling over here, and this is the coding for keypad button. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, star, 0, and hashtag. So here's several topics from the microcontroller that we have been used in this question. First, we have the delay, we have the macro, and we have the subroutine over here. We have this looping, and then subroutine again, and start here. So here we have the polling. So let's go to the circuit. Here I have done my circuit. We're gonna need this. Of course, first we're gonna need this PIC18 F4550, and then we're gonna need this push button, 2 push button, first push button and second push button. So this will be in active high input. Here, active high input will be connected to the through the ground. When we click on this push button, the power will be supplied through the push button and goes to the port B. Here I have the keypad button over here. Display 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, star, 0, hashtag. And then over here we have the LCD. So from D0 to D7, I will connect this wire to the port D. Here we have the E, RW, and RS. So E stands for enable, and it sends data to data pins when a high to low pulse is given. And then for RW stand for read write. This is its function is low to write to the register and high to read from the register. RS stand for register select. It is to select command register when low data register it used to select command register when low and data register when high. Here, VDD is connected to the ground, to the power, and VSS is connected to the ground. We have the power for PIC 18, and then here is all the needed by the circuit to answer this question. Let's go to MPLAB IDE first. First gonna build all to see whether our coding is correct or not. And it say here build succeeded. We go to file to export, click on OK. Its name is miniproject.hex. Alright, so we go to the circuit and click on the PIC 18. So here I have the processor clock frequency will be in 4 megahertz, and then we're gonna choose the file miniproject.hex and then OK. So remember, when we click on this first push button, will be displaying my my name in the first row. So coding over here. So here, this MUHAMMAD space NABIL space again will be displayed at the first row. If the second push button is pressed, it will be displaying my student ID again in the first row. But when I click on the keypad button, will be display any number that I've clicked in second row. So if I have not click on anything, will be displaying nothing. When I'm click on the both of these push button, will be displaying regarding on what push button that I click first. So let's go on start. Okay, so first I'm going to click on the first push button. As you can see, it will be displaying my name, Muhammad Nabil, and then I'll stop it, and then I will be clicking on second push button. So that's my student ID, DE96558. When I click both, I will be displaying regarding the first push button that I've clicked. So here, when I click on the second push button and then the first push button, will still displaying my student ID. And then here's for keypad button. When I click on 1, it will be displaying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here will be displaying the star, 0, and hashtag. So this is all the answer for the question. You may try this on your own. Hope that you understand it, and you can try this with you can simplify my coding, or you can find a new way to create a new coding. So that's all from me. Thank you for watching and have a good day.